Leader of the federal Liberals, Stéphane Dion, visited Huntsville on Saturday, greeting the public at a town hall session at Trinity United Church. With the pews packed, he spoke of his party's commitment to the environment, to Canada-U.S. relations, the criminal justice system, and the challenges of rural and northern communities. Dion was in Huntsville on the weekend as Liberals from across the country gathered at Deerhurst Resort for the party's annual meeting. The public forum was held only hours after the nation learned that 2 more Canadian soldiers from Dion's home province of Quebec were killed in an Afghanistan bomb blast. Dion paid homage to their courage, expressed condolences to their families, and said that his party can continue to have influence on the country's role in the war on terror without an election on the immediate horizon.
We want to carry our sympathy to the family, the friends, the comrades of these 2 brave men in uniform who lost their life for Canada, for the people of Afghanistan, and for the cause of justice around the world. Our view about the mission in Kandahar is well known since last February. When I became the leader, I delivered a speech in February, and I said we need to notify NATO and the government of Afghanistan that the combat mission in Kandahar for Canada will end in February 2009 in order to facilitate the replacement and to figure out what we may do else than a combat mission. It may be reconstruction, it may be training the forces, training the police, the justice system, incarceration system. We have a lot to do in Afghanistan, not only a combat mission. The combat mission must end in February 2009. It's too bad that Mr. Harper is not notifying NATO. He's not clear about the end of the combat mission.
Parry Sound-Muskoka Liberal candidate Jamie McGarvey introduced Nipissing-Temiskaming MP Anthony Rota, who joined Dion at the microphone during the forum. They all joined forces in taking aim at Conservative Parry Sound-Muskoka MP Tony Clement. Together, the Liberals intensified the ongoing war of words over the continuation of FedNor funding for the riding.
Tony Martin introduced a bill, and what that bill did is, as Jane mentioned, they wanted to create an agency out of FedNor. By creating an agency out of FedNor, what happens is it would get solid and be entrenched, and that, all in all, is not a bad idea. But for some strange reason, because I guess he can get more political mileage up in his area, which is farther north, he said, well, we're going to get rid of Muskoka and Parry Sound for Parry Sound-Muskoka. Well, I heard this, and when the media first got a hold of me, I said, no, that's not acceptable. I like the idea of an agency because it really entrenches it. And that's something I've been working on for a long time, and I've been advocating. Now, suddenly, they want to take it out. Well, I said, that part of it I can never accept. Well, Mr. Clement said, well, you know, he's in favor of it. Well, you know, that's kind of like telling a half-truth. It's not really the truth, but I know it worked well for him politically. And I guess that comes from when he was with the provincial Conservatives, where, remember the idea of creating a crisis? Yeah. Well, I hate to say it, but the people of Parry Sound-Muskoka, some of them were duped by Mr. Clement. That was the crisis that he created, and he wanted to come in as the white knight who was going to protect Parry Sound-Muskoka. Well, when you're coming out from Toronto and you don't understand what's going on in the north, you figure, well, you know, maybe I can take these people for a ride. Well, I don't think you can, Mr. Clement. People of Parry Sound-Muskoka and Northern Ontario want right with that.
Dion has long professed his desire to toughen up Canada's environmental policies, something which went over quite well with the Muskoka audience at Trinity United.
It seems that most of the pollution is coming over the U.S. border out of Ohio. And I'm wondering, what sort of dialogue will you be part of with our U.S. neighbors to address the problem of air pollution in Muskoka? Thank you.
To negotiate with the United States is to be better than them. It's difficult for us to push them in the back if our regulations are not tougher than that. And we Canadians, most of the time, we wait for the Americans before to move. So we are not ahead of them regarding regulations for water or air quality. I suggest that we should. We should be encouraging the liberals in the United States instead to wait for them to do something. It's what I would suggest.
The visit by Dion is the first time the Liberals have flexed any muscle in the riding since the defeat of former MP Andy Mitchell by only 28 votes to Clement. While Dion admits to missing Mitchell, he reported Saturday that McGarvey represents the future for the Liberals in the riding.
Do you miss Andy Mitchell?
For the next generation.
Hey, Mr. Dion, do you miss Andy Mitchell?
Oh yes, I
Yeah?
miss Andy Mitchell. I'm very pleased that Jimmy is campaigning, but I will find a way to be sure that
He only lost by 28 votes here in this riding last time, and I think a lot of that was to do with the fact he was a strong constituency man. Are you going to miss him in the fight this time around? Do you wish he would have stuck around to fight Tony one more time?
We will miss Andy. We'll always find a way to work with Andy, but we welcome Jimmy, and we are very proud of the candidate we have. Now it's about the future, and Jimmy is the future for the riding. I'm sure that he will be supported by the people much more than Mr. Clement.